Friends, as a kid, I used to wonder why mathematics requires the use of alphabets like X, Y, Z. I thought it was only about numbers. Later, I understood that these alphabets are used to represent numbers itself. We can represent numbers using alphabets in two ways: constants and variables. To understand what these constants and variables are, let's consider these two reptiles. Confused? Let's have a look. The first one is chameleon. The chameleon is an interesting animal because of its changing colors depending on the environmental conditions. Sometimes it may appear green in color and some other times it may appear blue in color. Now we say that the color of chameleon is variable because it is subject to change. Whereas on the other hand, for other reptiles like snakes, the color is always constant because it does not change. In the same way, in mathematics, variables are like chameleons. Their value is never fixed. The constants are like other reptiles whose value is always fixed. So, if x is a constant, then its value is fixed. That is, it is only one real number. If x is a variable, then its value is never fixed. That is, it can take any of the real number value. Now, a constant or a variable or a product of a constant and a variable is called a term. Now, if we add two or more terms, then we get an expression. Suppose, let us say, if a is the constant and x is the variable, now if we add both of them, we will get a plus x, which is an expression. Now, in this expression a plus x, if the value of a is equal to 2, then the expression formed will be 2 plus x. Now in this expression, we can keep on changing the value of the variable. And for each value of the variable, the expression results in a new value. That is, if the value of x is equal to 2, then the value of the expression will be 4. Similarly, if the value of the variable is 2.8, then the value of the expression will be 4.8. Observe that we are changing only the value of the variable, whereas the value of the constant is always fixed at 2. Some other examples of expressions can be 3 minus x, minus 1 by 2 plus y, square root of 5x minus 1, and some more. If you remember, in our previous classes, we came across these sort of expressions. If you observe carefully, in both these expressions, there is one thing in common. That is, in each term, the variable x is raised to any whole number power. Not an integer, not a natural number, only a whole number. Now, we call these expressions polynomials. So, polynomials are the expressions in which each term is a constant multiplied by a variable raised to any whole number power. So, in the polynomial 5x power 4 plus 3x cubed minus 5, the variable in the first term is raised to a power of 4 and the variable in the second term is raised to a power of 3. Now, what about the third term? Even in the third term, there is a variable raised to a whole number power. 5 is nothing but 5 multiplied by x to the power 0. And in this term, the variable x is raised to the power 0, which is a whole number. Also, this term minus 5 is known as the constant term of this polynomial. And now, let's see which of these expressions are polynomials. The first one, that is square root of 2x cubed plus 3x squared, is a polynomial, since in each term the variable x is raised to a whole number power. Now, is x squared plus 1 by x a polynomial? If you observe carefully, the expression x squared plus 1 by x can be rewritten as x squared plus x to the power minus 1. And this x is raised to the power of minus 1, which is not a whole number. So, we can clearly say that this expression is not a polynomial. For the same reason, the expression 2y cubed plus 5y squared minus 3y to the power 1 by 3 is not a polynomial, since the variable y is raised to the power of a fraction but not a whole number. So friends, I hope you understood what polynomials are. In our next video, we will be studying about different terminologies related to polynomials. As of now, let's summarize what we have learned so far. The value of a constant is fixed and the value of a variable is never fixed. A constant or a variable or a product of a constant and a variable is known as a term. When two or more terms are added, it forms an expression. Polynomials are expressions in which each term is a constant multiplied by a variable raised to any whole number power. The term in which the variable is raised to the power 0 is known as the constant term of that polynomial.